right, yeah, so this is the DMSi project. So we were working on setting up some web-based KPI widgets. So just to get started, we're going to talk about DMSi. They're a software development company based in Omaha. They work on a lot of like lumberyard construction software, which is kind of a small market, but it's one that is very much valuable, having worked with some of that software before. Being able to have it work well and be easy to use is very important to them. And so what we want to be able to do is make it easier for customers to be able to use the data that they generate through DMSi's tools. So just kind of covering the shareholders, or stakeholders, sorry. We've got Cal and Trent, who are kind of just in charge of the company, and then we worked more directly with Jason and Adam being the primary point of contact for DMSi. He was kind of the lead of this project. Additionally, we worked with Zach over here quite a bit. He was very, very helpful, but we can talk about that a little later. So we worked with Bill and Buvana for just kind of the senior design things, getting everything squared away, making sure we stayed on track with everything. And then Teresa over here was our project coach. She was an excellent help in making sure that we're able to do agile and whatever other processes that we need to do correctly. Additionally, my team is all out there. You can talk to them later if you want. They all did a really good job as developers. And I guess, for reference, I'm Ethan. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. So I was the squad lead. So basically what we were running into, or what DMSi was running into, was that they have a visualization library that was integrated with Chart.js that they hadn't implemented in any form so far. And additionally, they had a lot of data being generated by their systems called Agility. It is Agility, right? I'm not, okay, cool, just making sure. So through Agility, that was really only viewable as a spreadsheet rather than anything that's easy to use for their customers. So what they wanted us to be able to do was kind of integrate those two components, bring that data into the visualization software so that you can actually look at it. So what we did, most of the first, I guess we'll kind of do this in reverse order from the slide. The first semester we spent most of our time working on a React app to actually be able to view those charts. So a lot of that was working with React and TypeScript, trying to simulate DMSi's existing software as best we can. And in order to do that, we did a lot of communication with DMSi to basically make sure it all worked correctly. Second semester was mostly working on an API using Golang. That's the language that DMSi uses for all of their APIs. And it was very much a good choice for this project, which I can get into in a little bit. And what that does is when it's given one of those spreadsheets, either as an Excel file or a CSV, it takes that in and then runs parts of that data and runs it through a bunch of algorithms to try and spit out a series of charts in a JSON file. That JSON file then becomes the input for the front end. So kind of covering that, this is what our system looks like. Basically, on the import section here, that's where you upload your JSON file that's run through the command line tool, which, shoot, I forgot about that. The Golang tool is not, we did not make it into an API. That is something that DMSi is going to be doing after we hand it off to them. They wanted us to just do a command line tool instead. That way we didn't have to deal with accessing DMSi servers and all of that configuration stuff. So you upload the JSON file here from the output of the command line tool, and then once that is processed, it will direct you to this page where it displays each of these charts that are made using Chart.js. And you can click on any of them and view them a little closer, like that. And basically the idea is that you can look over all the data in the chart, you can hover over everything, make sure that you can see what the data going into it is, really. I guess before I move on, do we have any questions about the solution? Right. I'm kind of doing this out of order anyway, but whatever. All right. Yeah, so I guess kind of covering over it, this project was, one, really fun to work on, but also it was really interesting in that we were trying to make it as easy to work with for customers and clients rather than for developers. So it was very much focused on end users and kind of making everything easy to use in that vein. Additionally, the API was very different to work on because the entire thing was just different modules that were essentially assembled together for what you wanted to do at the at runtime. Really, of like basically selecting which algorithms you want to use to generate charts, and you can select more, and you can very easily add new ones in. So, in terms of what the highlight for the project was, most of the people on my team had not worked with front-end code very much before, so being able to design websites and UIs was very new to them, and so that was a very, very useful learning experience. Additionally, none of us had worked with Go before. That was a very new thing for us, and so learning a new language that's structured a little differently, which I will actually say it's my favorite language at this point because of this project and because of how fun it was to work with it. And just being able to work with a pretty large data set. So these are running off of a data set of 16,000 lines. We also had a data set that we were working off of with 55,000. And so being able to make sure, or being able to work with that much data and make sure that we can do optimization steps on that to make sure that we don't have the half-hour runtime that I ran into at one point during this project. That is no fun. So being able to work on those large data sets and be able to really see an impact of optimization steps definitely improved our software engineering practices because of that. And just being able to work on a project with a company and with a team of sponsors, it was new for a lot of people on the team. And so it was a really good learning experience of being able to do communication every week, not just in our sponsor meetings, but also regular communication directly with Adam and Zach. So I guess, do I do questions or awards first?
You can do awards first.
All right, cool. So we'll do that first. So I guess I'll have you two come up to give you guys this thing. So I can do that. And then we also have the box for that. I'll get that to you in a minute. But yeah.
Thank you for all your work on the project.
Thank you. And Teresa, can you come up?
I'll grab it.
Yeah. Don't worry about being in the camera. We just wanted to give this to you as thanks. You did a great job on the project, and we were very glad to have you.
Well, it was awesome to work with you guys.
Yeah.